Astina, the organizer and Dubai chapter leader. We have Christina, Global Manager Marketing Community from UiPath. And today the guest speaker is Umaima Lejli, who is the 3 times MVP as well. And she's working as senior automation engineer in the Robio. Hi, Umaima.
Hi, lovely. Hello, everyone. Thank you for presentation and thank you for joining session 3 of Autopilot for Everyone series. Before we dive in, I'd like to give a special thanks to Sharaz, who did this fantastic job in the previous sessions. He clearly walked us through the installation steps and how to get started with Autopilot for Everyone, the AI-powered assistant that lives right inside your UiPath assistant. If you haven't already attended the session, I highly encourage you to watch the first 2 recordings to get familiar with the setup and the installation and the capabilities also of Autopilot for Everyone. So today, we work for a quick recap for the session 2, and then we will go through dive into some business use cases and explore the real world businesses use cases and brainstorm together and how we can apply Autopilot for Everyone across different industries. So some of you use cases from different industries like telecommunications, supply chain, HR, finance, etc. And we'll see together the capabilities of Autopilot for Everyone. So I highly recommend you to watch the first 2 recordings to see all the technical setups and prerequisites to be able to run Autopilot for Everyone. Autopilot for Everyone, we need to enable it on Automation Cloud and to have a folder available on Orchestrator and be able to run all the automations and enable the AI trust layer. All those steps should be well explained on the first 2 recordings. And then we have also the capabilities to download a few templates from Marketplace and make them available as tools on Autopilot Orchestrator folder. We can customize prompts. We see together, and we already explained how to customize prompts, how to add custom automations to be able to use them inside Autopilot, how to publish them, and how to launch the assistant to interact and send predefined or custom prompts with Autopilot for Everyone. So Autopilot for Everyone works cross apps, learns from how you works, how your prompts, the history of logs, the history of prompts, from documents using context grounding. So we have different capabilities, generative AI capabilities using LLMs like Claude by Anthropic, GPT-4 by OpenAI. We can also use automations as tools, and we see together how we can run an automation. I make it available in UiPath Autopilot for Everyone. We can also use document understanding capabilities to extract features from documents and clipboard AI as also. So really, the real world business use cases, we can use UiPath Autopilot for Everyone capabilities and empower a lot of industries like banking. We can try automated loan processing. Autopilot can extract and verify applicant data from documents, for example, to expedite. We can classify emails. And AI models categorize customer emails. We have connectors through integration services and Autopilot for Everyone capable to classify emails and routing and suggest also some replies and response to those emails. In banking sector, we can talk also about KYC document handling, know your customer. Autopilot can process documents through the capabilities of document understanding. and keyboard AI, and validates KYC documents, ensuring compliance. We can find a lot also of use cases in supply chain, and we'll see together some use case in supply chain industry. We can talk about intelligent decision making in procurement, how Autopilot can analyze vendor performance, pricing, and delivery reliability to recommend the best supplier selection, and can access also to SAP, for example, to get information about a vendor and suggest recommendation. We will see some proof of concept about intelligent decision making in procurement. We can talk also about supplier communication. Autopilot can generate context-aware response to supplier inquiries and updates. We can talk also about domain forecasting through the capabilities of predicting and forecasting. AI can predict product demand, for example, to optimize stock levels and prevent overstock or shortages. We can say that all those capabilities already exist in other tools using AI capabilities, but here, like, our strong point is orchestration. Is like through Autopilot for Everyone, we can collaborate with all the applications and UiPath ecosystem, and we can run automations if necessary. We can trigger some automations to have some outputs to continue the discussion, the chat with Autopilot for Everyone. So here, really, we are using the generative AI capabilities, but we can also interact with the whole UiPath ecosystem. This is really the strength point of why we should use Autopilot for Everyone, or also generative AI capabilities, context grounding, can empower, and tools automations which are available on Autopilot for Everyone can help us also to perform and really perform those use cases and collaborate with RPA. So it's not only about AI capabilities. We can also find other use cases in energy industry, like maintenance scheduling. Autopilot can schedule equipment maintenance, for example, because we have really a lot of connectors, and we can access to a lot of applications to schedule maybe meetings, maybe equipment maintenance based on predictive analytics, for example. We can talk about regularity compliance. AI monitors operations to ensure adherence to energy regulations. We can also use the generative AI capabilities to create accurate billing statements from usage data. This is about energy sector, and we can have a lot of other use cases. In telecommunication, we can talk about customer support automation. Autopilot handles routine inquiries and can handle customer issues, analyze them using NLP capabilities, and suggest solutions, maybe, or run automation to take action and reply to customer. We can also use Autopilot for Everyone, can generate reporting that can help us to identify and prioritize network issues, for example, in telecommunication sector. We talk also about lead nurture. Autopilot automates follow-ups with potential customers across channels, for example. So we can give Autopilot for Everyone the resources and access to database to be able to analyze and recommend us potential customers. On HR department also, we can talk about onboarding automation. Autopilot can initiate or auto onboarding workflows. We can, for example, drag and drop a resume of the new employee and then write a prompt and say, please, can you run the automation of onboarding of this person? And we can also schedule sending emails, program and schedule IT meetings, and create tickets, for example, on ServiceNow or on other applications where connectors are available to create access to this new employee, for example. We will try this use case together. And also we can talk about leave management when employees request leave through an app interface generated by Autopilot, for example. We talk about Autopilot for apps. We can generate interfaces through prompting or through entities, or also through images. We can Autopilot for Everyone also can generate some training materials to help employees or even HR team. So really, those are some suggested use cases that can help you that can inspire you to think about how you can use Autopilot for Everyone and empower your sector, your business, your area. So in accounting, we have a lot of RPA use cases in accounting. Also, we can empower them by using Autopilot for Everyone. Generative AI Autopilot for Everyone can extract data from invoices using document understanding capabilities. We can automate entries. We can flag if there is some issue, some fraud. We can detect fraud, even if in other sectors like as supply chain. We will try together and see how Autopilot for Everyone can detect fraud from invoices and suggest as some recommendations, and then we can run an automation access SAP system, for example. So we can also generate financial reportings. And as I said, those are just few ideas to inspire you to get more and suggest other use case and try them, like using Autopilot for Everyone, collaborating and orchestration between AI and classic RPA. So we will try together and see first use case in supply chain sector, which I called intelligent decision making in procurement. So we will try to create a prompt, like compare suppliers for Q2, monitor purchase under like $20,000 with fast delivery. We'll see how Autopilot trigger a prepared automation to extract vendor names, item descriptions, price, delivery times, and then Autopilot for Everyone will try to analyze those data and give us a recommendation. And then we can continue with the chat and see if you can proceed with top supplier. So generate purchase requisition, for example, or notify the procurement manager for approval. So let's imagine if this data extracted from SAP, so vendors data about some purchase order, and UiPath Autopilot for Everyone can go and run the automation that can extract those data from SAP and then can recommend for us the top supplier. So all the configuration of how Autopilot for Everyone can be available on Assistant are well detailed, as I said, on the first previous videos. So it will be available on Assistant. So here we have a automation tool called SAP. So we can find it here to extract vendors from SAP. So if we can go here to Automation Cloud and see the Autopilot different so if you access to your tenant and then EI trust layer, and then we go to Autopilot for Everyone to see different sections of Autopilot for Everyone. And we have a section called Tools here. And we can add like our custom tools. So if we have some automations, we can see like the available automation that we created already using UiPath Studio available here. So we can choose the folder, and then, for example, I will need the data extraction from SAP vendors automation to be able to trigger it through Autopilot for everyone. So we need here to choose the automation and enable for this autopilot. I will use also another automation called HR onboarding process, and we should be like check enable for this autopilot. So if you have already configured all the steps and did the correct setup of autopilot for everyone, and arrive to the step to add custom tools, we just need to access the AI Trust Layer Autopilot for everyone, go to the Tools section, configure tools, choose like the correct orchestrator folder, and enable the automation for this autopilot. And then here it will be available. And I added a lot of other automations here. Those are automations downloaded from Marketplace. And to be enable those automations, as I said, you can find all those technical steps in the previous video to be able to see all like the productivity, sales, product, and engineers tools available here. So the publisher is UiPath, and we downloaded the latest version. Those tools will help us, for example, to be able to interact with a lot of systems. So all the apps that Autopilot for everyone can interact with are available as connectors here in integration services. So just here need to be able to enable and connect with Outlook, for example, Teams, Amazon, Anthropic Cloud, all the available connectors here, SAP. So if we need to interact system and we have the idea to try new use case that can trigger one system, first step, just we need to connect with them to create the connector through integration services to be able to interact directly with this application and create prompts through Autopilot for everyone. Also, other solution, we can create our custom RPA tool and publish it on Autopilot folder to be able to run it through Autopilot for everyone. So here I will just copy paste this prompt and go to Autopilot for everyone. And say compare surprise for Q2 monitor per case under $20,000 with fast delivery. I will just say this without saying run SAP extract data automation. And we see the output of Autopilot for everyone. And we see the first suggestion is like Autopilot for everyone, go through the tools and see if we have already some RPA automation available that can help Autopilot to extract data from our system to be able to give other correct recommendations. So this is really the importance of tools. And personally, I found this is really the strong feature or functionality available on Autopilot for everyone, because if just will be only a simple prompt, we can use other system. So here really we collaborate and we interact with custom tools will enable us. So if we create and we have some maybe constraints to access some systems, and it's available in UiPath ecosystem. So here we just call this automation, and it's called data extraction from SAP. We have required arguments. We can here change the required arguments. We can change the optional arguments, and while creating the automation through Studio, just I want to mention I think also, like we Sharaz explained this in the previous video, but I will also to insist on this and to mention it again, that if we need to an automation be available for autopilot for everyone, we should use autopilot automation template. It's available here, and if you can't find it here, you can just create more templates, and we can find it and try to use this template, create your own automation, and then publish it on your orchestrator, and then enable it, as we said together, in custom tools. So yeah, just here I want to mention that using autopilot automation template is mandatory to be able to use it later on autopilot for everyone. So here just our prompt was like compare suppliers, and we had a suggestion that autopilot suggests to use this custom tool, and we will run this automation. So automation successful, and we see the response of of autopilot for everyone, or suggestion for some. I will just, this is spent in French, but I will ask it to reply in English. So the automation was run successfully. This automation go through into SAP, extract suppliers data, and we can see, like, based on the data extracted from SAP for Q2 monitor purchase under $20,000. So we filter; those are considered as filters on our custom automation. Autopilot for everyone provide as a comparison of surprise, like take one, for example. We can find this unit price, the number of items, the total cost, so it's under 20,000, and we have those like list of vendors that match our requirements, and we can have like a recommendation. Consider your requirements for a purchase under 20,000 euro with fast delivery. I would recommend take one, for example, for this. So if I imagine if we have another tool that can go into SAP and create a request, or create like generate purchase requisition, or notify the procurement manager for approval, for example, we can come back to autopilot for everyone and say like could you please notify procurement manager for approval? And here also we can go to run another SAP tool, or we can like connect to Microsoft Teams or Outlook to be able to send an email. We'll have also suggestion of the subject and the body of the email. And if we don't have created our connector yet, autopilot for everyone suggests the correct connector, and we can go to integration services to enable this connector to be able to send it directly through UiPath for everyone. So I think maybe I will not have like the correct permission to do it here, but if you have the right permission, there are permission to connect like Office 365 or Microsoft Teams or Outlook or email with UiPath. You'll be able to send it directly here through. I can recommend you some videos that can show you how to set up this, create the connector to be able to send or to schedule to the meeting, or to send the email, or to send the message directly through autopilot for everyone, and we don't need to switch application. to be able to notify this. So this is like first example of how we can use autopilot for everyone in supply chain industry, how we can run and our custom tools and use it as resources to interact with system. And this is all about the orchestration. So how to collaborate and how to combine generative AI capabilities with NLP and automations, classic RPA automation. So we can go and inspire you with a second use case about fraud detection in supply chain with autopilot for everyone. For this use case, we will try to upload a fraudulent invoice and we will create a prompt, check this invoice for any anomalies or inconsistencies. And then, as we said, we'll upload our invoice and we'll be we will enable autopilot for everyone to analyze this invoice, return insights like duplicate charge or missing PO numbers or like high costs and not like usual costs that we can have on our invoices. So using document understanding capabilities, we'll be able to read text and to analyze the invoice. And then it's, as we said, it's all about the action. So if we have another tool like some automation that can go into SAP system and verify some supplier information that like autopilot for everyone detected like as fraudulent, we can trigger this automation to be able to see if this vendor available or not. So I will like we prepared some fraudulent invoice and like we here the supplier name and the email address are not the email address does not match the supplier name, and we have also like high costs or like weird or like fraudulent VAT also number, and we will try to drag and drop this invoice on autopilot for everyone and create prompt to see if autopilot for everyone is like capable to detect some anomalies and then call specific tools to do the correct action to verify. So we'll just say check the invoice for any anomalies or inconsistencies. And the list of like supported files extensions are available and are well explained in the previous video. As I said by Sharaz, we can find the whole supported extensions files list by autopilot for everyone. So here we can see like detected some anomalies like the express transport was like the cost of the transport is like high, so it seems like fraudulent. And here what you said when we itemize the charges. So here if the first capability of autopilot for everyone is extracting data, first of all, using document understanding capabilities. And then by this feature, using clipboard AI capabilities, we can copy paste, we can do an intelligent copy paste of data extracted from our documents and paste it on another systems like web platforms or Excel files, etc. So observations and potential anomalies detected by autopilot for everyone, it was like high costs, date discrepancies. VAT calculation also based on 20% was like seen as not the correct number of the VAT calculation. Lack of details also. In usual, we have more details about transportations. The contact information, for example, as I said here, this is a dummy invoice, but just to inspire you, try to drag and drop your invoices. After activated, for sure, the AI trust layer, because this is a mandatory setup to be able to use Autopilot for everyone. And then here, like the supplier emails does not match the company name. So like in usual days, like the supplier should have like supplier name should have an address email that match the name. And so here we can suggest to go into the database, supplier database, through SAP or another like ERP system to check and to verify this data. So also the round numbers, here we can find that all charges are around thousands, which is unusual and could indicate estimated rather than actual costs. So really, Autopilot for everyone go through into details and can help us in our daily work routine to verify invoices and try to see if we detect fraud, and we can like really gain a lot of return of investment. So we can also have some recommendations to verify the invoice date, the reason of any delay in billing, to also check if the vendor exists or not in our system. I will continue chatting with Autopilot for everyone, and I will see, can you verify supplier data? And here we have an automation which is called extracted supplier data from SAP. So the suggestion here was like connected to Zoom Info. So like I will say, I have already an automation to extract vendor data. So like recently, Autopilot for everyone suggests for me to run this automation to be able to verify supplier data. But now like we had together, I wanted to run it live with you in the meeting. So like it can suggest us to connect to other systems to verify data if we don't specify. So we should not like create a lot of details, but we try to add some context and edit. So here just I have already an automation to extract vendor data to see if this vendor already exists in my database or not. So like suggested vendor data as required arguments and global transport logistics. And this is our vendor name. And we will run this automation to see if this vendor exists or not in our SAP system. So the output of this automation is a data table contained like have this structure of data. It will be data table or CSV or an Excel file output of SAP extraction. So we said like apologize, but assume that this vendor data extraction didn't return specifically about global transport logistics. So like this vendor does not exist in my database. If I will check, I'm sure that those vendors exist. I will try to ask a question. Exists in vendors list. We can also like ask all the questions that we need to ask without even like should connect to SAP, just by interacting with Autopilot for everyone. I really enjoyed this. So we cannot like do user interface interaction. So you said, yeah, this supply or IT supplies does exist in the vendors list, and we can like receive some information, and we can create also a custom prompt to extract all like the wanted information. and the verification that we want to do. So like, hope this use case was helpful to inspire you also to try some use cases specifically in supply chain or in fraud detection in general, in accounting, finance department. I invite you to try those capabilities and see what recommendation Autopilot for Everyone give to us. So I wanted also to try some, let's say, if I am like an e-commerce website that suggests, or I can have a recommendation system to my customers to be able to compare pricing information from different e-commerce sites. So as we know, Autopilot for Everyone, we just here see the data resources. Big Google. We also we can access to online websites, not only using generative AI capabilities. So we can access live websites via Google, and we can see those capabilities of extracting information. And we'll see. Honestly, I didn't try this prompt before to see if, for example, Autopilot for Everyone is capable to extract the latest prices for example, wireless headphones from Amazon and Best Buy. You can choose all the websites. We're all struggling while comparing prices and having this. And we also have we go and ask this to ChatGPT on another LLM model. So we'll try to see this. For example, if we have also another custom tool that can extract those information, pricing information, and try to compare them, and for example add some other processing, post-processing using RPA to be able to have a good output on our online e-commerce site. It will be also a good use case to try using Autopilot for Everyone. So as we say, as an action, Autopilot can run pre-built automation that navigates to specific websites, also search for this, or even like without running those automations, we can see if it can access directly to the websites. We'll try to copy paste this prompt and see what we'll have as output. The comparison it could be on price, on quality as also. So yeah, this is, we can say, running Google, because like here, Autopilot for Everyone is trying to access Amazon and Best Buy websites to extract needed information for this. So here we can do like online based on the search results. So really, I'm very satisfied of the result, because like I remembered before to be able to develop this use case, I always use web scraping to extract data and create Python script, or even RPA to do web scraping via Studio, and really like took some time to develop this, and then try to compare prices with classic RPA, and put in place some expressions and formulas to be able to have the best recommendation as an output. So here, just I said go, it already done like the web scraping from Amazon and Best Buy, and say here on Amazon we found this headphones for this price, and yeah, the others, and give some the best buy also, best recommendation. And here, like, if we can also give some specific budget as also as additional information, it could also it will search based on this price that we like added here or as a prompt. So here, Lovely, you can hear me very well?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to check because got maybe some network issues, so but it's okay. So here we can also Autopilot for Everyone suggest for us the source that like use it for this. We can like copy the link. Oh, I need to open like I need to open Amazon to be able to see those. But yeah, but you can have all the outputs resources to be able to access directly to those recommendations. So this was also another use case that can inspire us on e-commerce industry and can help us to have better customer experience and recommendation system without developing a recommendation system. I also wanted to maybe think about some use cases on HR sector, and specifically HR onboarding. So as we know that HR team often face manual repetitive tasks during onboarding, leading the delays. So specifically like setting up accounts in HR systems like SAP, Workday, creating the necessary access, schedule training, etc. So this was also could be a good use case that we can try it through Autopilot for Everyone, just by prompting, by uploading necessary documents to be able to help on this onboarding process, and automate it through Autopilot for Everyone, and call maybe our custom automation to be able to do all those tasks through the HR onboarding automation. So the value delivered here, we have enhanced new hire experience, personalized and timely communications make new employees feel valued from day one, and this really could help each HR department in different sectors. So we can also we'll have a reduced HR workload. Automation handles routine tasks, allowing HR to focus on strategic initiatives. Those are like the same goal of RPA in general, and this is like enhanced really automation experience in different sectors such as HR. What I want to do that I want here to try a prompt, start onboarding for new hire, and I wanted to try if can I drag and drop resume of the person to be able to extract information such as name, first name, last name, email, experience, to be able to extract the title and assign this person to the correct team, for example. So we have an example of resume of civil engineering is like an image format, and we can try. I have also a tool called HR onboarding. We added it together like and configured tool here. So yeah, we enable it here to be able to use it on Autopilot for everyone. This automation can access different systems that you want: Workday, Teams, Outlook, ServiceNow to create tickets, etc. So you can really automate what you want as automation through this onboarding procedure, and then go to prompt and drag and drop directly the resume of this person. Yeah, and they start onboarding for the new hire. And yeah, we see using, as we say, like document understanding capabilities to extract relevant information and analyze it through NLP or generative AI. Also capabilities to generate the response and call this this may be custom automation. So here Autopilot for everyone is trying to analyze the image. Don't know if it will suggest to call the HR. Yeah. So here, thank you for providing the resume for the new hire. Mia Wilmes, based on the information in her resume, I can help you start the onboarding process. I recommend using our HR onboarding automation. So if we have already, as we said, custom automation available, Autopilot will go directly unsuggested. If it is not the case, go and say run this automation. So here what we'll do is set up her employee profile with details from her resume. Even we don't need to upload this resume to the system, like directly from Autopilot for everyone. And I really enjoying this use case also. And we will initiate the necessary paperwork for new hires, schedule orientation and training sessions, and prepare her workstation and required access credentials. As also all those steps, like our development on the automation, we need to go through to the design, classic design of RPA automation, like automate even using APIs or using interface interaction with necessary systems like Workdays or Jira, etc., or using also the available connectors that we have on integration services to access different systems and be able to create tickets, for example, on ServiceNow or other application that you have already in place on your company. So here, like suggested, like requirement information, the name of the person extracted. So it's the title is civil engineering, the infrastructure design. Yeah, and as optional arguments, here you can suggest, for example, the university, maybe to be able to save the diploma on the HR management system. So I will just run this automation. And my automation is quickly automation successful because it's like an example, is a proof of concept of automation. But if your automation takes a lot of action, so it will take some time to run the job directly here and give you the output. Like you can continue chatting and modify your prompt. So this is the onboarding process. The summary of what has been done. So if the automation is successful or not, and what have been done, the personal and professional information from me as a resume has been input into our HR system. An employee profile has been created. Training sessions also. And we can have also like next steps suggestion, like HR will reach out to Maya to complete any remaining paperwork. For example, the IT department as all the HR onboarding procedure, we need to schedule a meeting with the IT department to set up the email, etc. We can also here We can take this and continue chatting with Autopilot. We say, can you please schedule a meeting? And here on Autopilot for Everyone, we can have the history of our chatting discussions, and we can come back to the same discussion, or we can have the logs also of the automation and all the logs of our chats as history. So here Autopilot for Everyone suggests us to connect to Microsoft Teams to be able to schedule Teams. I'll invite you because we don't have a lot of time, only 5 minutes. Maybe we'll keep those 5 minutes for Q&A to answer some questions, but I'll invite you really to connect and to create your connectors through the application that you have available on your company, and try those prompts and calling your custom automations. Yeah, we also prepare other use cases, but we share with you this document. But like, I also want to try some prompt to retrieve stock prices from financial websites, from like stock amateurs to be able to retrieve the prices, and even also try an action, and also suggest us recommendation for investment, for example. So this is like some inspiring like use cases. I hope that this was helpful to help you to go and to set up and try some use cases through Autopilot for everyone. So lovely. I don't know if we have
Thank
some
you,
questions or not.
Umaima, for sharing those insightful real-world use cases. Your examples actually truly help to connect through the practical applications. So now it's time to have more questions. So any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself, or you can post your queries in the chat. No questions yet. Let me stop the recording.